Greetings guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. Something I'm sure we can all agree on is that Facebook is a very interesting place. Facebook is one of the most visited websites globally every single day. It has like 2 billion visits every single day, which is absolutely astounding. Oh my god, that's not even actually 2 billion visits. That's like 2 billion different accounts are logging into Facebook every single day, which is absolutely astounding. Oh my god. And because of that, because that is a quarter of the world's population logging into Facebook every single day, there's obviously a lot of gems on there. As you well know by this point, I love doing a good dive on a Facebook group and just having a bit of a snoop at the absolute absurdity that exists in so many of these groups. There are Facebook groups for literally everything. And although some of them are like great, there's some really good like community support and like fun, silly groups and things. I used to be a part of a bunch of Facebook groups back when I used Facebook as a teenager. There is also on the flip side of that a whole lot of places for your homophobic conservative aunties to be hanging out and getting validation from like-minded people. The other day, someone sent me a DM on Instagram and informed me of this Facebook group which is called Pure Blood Dating Unvaxed, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is a bunch of anti-vax people coming together and trying to find true love. So they're here like posting pictures of themselves with like a description of who they are and what they're looking for. And then, you know, people comment on it and they're just searching for love. But on top of that, primarily, this doesn't even function as a dating group. This functions as just a bunch of anti-vax people coming in and posting memes and false information. But the best part of this group is that it's public. This is a public group that anyone can look at. You don't even have to join it. You can just go and have a look. So I didn't even have to use my middle-aged Christian white woman burner account and like pass the vetting process of some terrible questions. I didn't even have to do that today. I could just scroll through, and scroll through I did. I spent way too long here. I think I took 80 screenshots. I have so much saved, and obviously I am not going to get through all of that. So if you do enjoy this video and want me to go through this Facebook group again, please do let me know by leaving a like and a comment, and I will absolutely do that. There's no shortage of content. This group has 30,000 people, so there's a lot. And on the topic of leaving a like, I wanted to take a moment to just talk about the future of my channel and me. First and foremost, I obviously talk about a lot of sensitive issues. I literally have queer in my name, and I unfortunately feel as though that in itself is holding me back from the algorithm. I have absolutely no intent on changing it because that is my identity, it's who I am, and I don't want to censor myself. So it really does help me out a lot if you do just engage with my videos, if you leave a like, if you comment, if you subscribe. That's the most helpful thing. Over 50% of you are regular viewers but are not subscribed, so please do check and make sure that you are subscribed if you are not already. There's also now YouTube has added like a hype button, and I have absolutely no idea what it does, so maybe press that and we'll figure out if that does anything. And then finally, the most exciting thing that I am like vibrating in my skin about is that I am finally working on making and releasing music again. Music has always been my #1 passion. I actually moved to London 6 years ago now to do music, and I just never did because COVID happened and then YouTube happened. And I love that this is my job, and I am like so grateful, but it has meant I've never had the time to do music. And the last time I released music was almost 6 years ago now, with songs I wrote when I was a teenager. I'll never know the taste of your lips, nor the softness of your skin. And when you close your eyes, you replace the darkness with light. Then I found you, said I don't need fixing, I'm not broken, just human. Promise you were pulling me up while you nailed me to the ground. I am really excited that I will be able to finally start doing that again. And if you are interested in that and supporting me in that, then I would really appreciate if you could hit subscribe, engage with this, and also join my Patreon if at all possible. It starts at only £1 a month, and some of the tiers include things like behind the scenes updates with music. I've already presently got a bunch of like songs in progress that I am currently posting onto Patreon. Following me on my other social medias as well. I've started uploading like fashion content and things here on Shorts and also over on Instagram. Making music is very expensive, and it is entirely a passion project that I hope is able to go somewhere, but who knows? But if you want to support me in that, then I do really appreciate that. I've talked for way too long promoting myself. I am so sorry. Now that I have that out of the way and letting you all know, let us jump into some really fun people on Facebook who are trying to find love through their absolutely incorrect opinions and their fear-mongering. One of the things that this group unanimously agrees upon and talks about in a way that makes it seem like the truest, most terrifying fact ever is something called shedding. And honestly, I wish I was more surprised about the fact that they believe this in the way that they do, but this is unfortunately not shocking at all. And this is the first thing I saw when I opened this group, by the way, and it is a post that says this: FYI, the vaccinated do shed. I will give you my personal experience of this. I am unvaccinated. My husband is vaccinated due to being threatened to lose his job if he did not get vaccinated. And because he is the breadwinner of the family, he went ahead and got the vaccine. He is a weightlifter. He was never able to use his arm that got vaccinated for at least a full year because of the vaccination. Even now, he has health issues with that arm. He is super unhealthy. Me, being unvaccinated, I started having health issues as well, and I didn't understand, so I went and had a Quest 4 full body scan by my dietitian, and it shows the V in my blood. I was never vaccinated, so how did that get into my bloodstream? A lot of the comments are also on that, being like, if you're having unprotected sex, as you would be with your spouse, you're gonna get it by proxy. And it's in his DNA now, so if his DNA, saliva, or anything else gets in your system, you've technically taken the vax. That's not how this works. These people are taking something that is true and twisting it into something that is very, very much not true without ever stopping to question it at all. So like, I obviously went and did some research because I don't want to be sitting here spewing misinformation because then I'd just be like these guys. And I understand how they got to this conclusion. I know where this myth and idea comes from. However, they've never stopped to actually look into it and think about what it actually is. And this is because shedding is technically a thing that happens. It's technically real. But there are a lot of limitations on that. And it's not at all in the way that they are expressing that it happens. So basically, right, shedding happens because there are some vaccines that are made with a live attenuate. I can't read my own handwriting. I'm pretty sure it says attenuate. Attenuate. And basically what that is that's something that replicates the virus, right? They're putting a little bit of the virus into your bloodstream and into your body so that your body learns how to build up the immunity to fight it, right? It's giving you a little bit so then your body knows how to fight against it. And I think we all are aware that a lot of vaccines do indeed work like that. I was told growing up that that's how all vaccines work. It is not, but some vaccines do have that, which means that if you get vaccinated by that, right, you technically are then carrying that virus as your body is, fighting it off. So therefore, in those days following getting that vaccine, there is a potential that you are contagious. There is a potential that, since that virus is in your system, you may pass that on to someone else. It is unlikely, but it does happen, and it is why you are not meant to be around immunocompromised people in the days following getting a vaccine that contains that sort of like diluted pathogen, like live attenuate in it, right? And I've never actually heard that. No one's ever told me to stay away from immunocompromised people after I get a vaccine. So noted. Obviously, it doesn't stay in your body forever. You aren't now just like permanently infected by this virus, contagious for the rest of your life. It's just a couple days where maybe you are contagious, but it is incredibly unlikely. If you do catch something from it, it is incredibly unlikely it will do you any harm unless you are an immunocompromised person, and it is going to pass relatively quickly, just like it did in the vaccinated person. But another incorrect fact about this is that obviously being like the vaccine was mandatory, so therefore, you know, he had to do it. The only vaccine that I'm aware of that's been mandatory recently that, you know, they're going to be complaining about because they all complain about it is the COVID vaccine. And the COVID vaccine is not one of these vaccines. The COVID vaccine does not have this live ingredient in it. It does not have the actual virus in it. You cannot get anything secondhand from a COVID vaccine. That's just not happening. False facts all around, all right? That's just not happening. You are carrying the virus for like a day or two, maybe. And then it's like over, and then it's gone, and it doesn't even happen for the COVID one. So try again. My favorite comment on this though is this comment that says, I try to stay away from crowds, but yesterday I went to a public hearing concerning a developer who ruined a local beach. 80 people there, and I was in a small function room with them for much of the day, and today I'm feeling like I'm coming down with something. I haven't been ill for a couple of years. This is not used to be saying, you know, I try to avoid crowds because I don't want to get the flu, I don't want to catch any illnesses from them. I try to avoid crowds because of, you know, I could get sick because they're carrying viruses. This isn't even, but I was around people, so then I got sick because I caught the flu from them. This is literally him being like, I try to avoid people because a lot of them are vaccinated and I don't want to catch the vaccine. No, I don't really want to catch the vaccine. And then the other day I went out and I was around a bunch of people and I came away sick. I haven't been sick for a long time and I got sick. So it must be that I caught the vaccine from them. Shedding is real. They infected me with the vaccine. Or have you considered maybe you actually caught a virus? Have you considered that like maybe someone there who wasn't vaccinated had the flu and then you caught the flu because you also are not vaccinated? I don't know. I'm just putting it out there that seems a lot more likely. And even if it was through the vaccine, right? You didn't catch the vaccine. You caught the flu from someone who got the flu vaccine like a couple days ago. Insinuating that the people around you are all constantly recently vaccinated is so funny. I haven't had a vaccine in, I don't know, my last COVID booster shot would have been 2021 because they're expensive. I don't get offered free ones anymore. So, you know, I don't have like £100 to fork up to get like a flu vaccine, unfortunately. That's the same for most people. Like most of the people you're around are not recently vaccinated. You were just probably around someone with a virus and then caught that virus. So, hate to burst your bubble, but you didn't catch a vaccine. You caught a cold. But don't worry everyone. There are actually ways that you can counteract this. There is a method that everyone recommends for if you have been a victim of shedding and now have the vaccine in your blood from being near someone and breathing the same air as someone who was vaccinated 15 years ago. You can just put a nicotine patch on for 6 weeks. Yep. 3 to 6 weeks. Put a nicotine patch on and it'll be right out of your system because that's definitely a better alternative. A medically studied medicine that works to fight against you getting sick so you don't get sick and get other people sick. That is bad. You know what's good though? A highly addictive substance being continuously put into your bloodstream for 3 to 6 weeks. That's much healthier. That's a much better idea. I think we should be doing that. That's great. That's a really good idea. I also don't understand how that would help, but you know, sure. Why not? The next thing I encountered in this group, I think this should be illegal. And I mean that wholeheartedly. This should not be legal. I honestly don't think it is legal. It's an ad.
Breaking news this morning, this New York doctor was arrested for exposing what scientists recently discovered about reversing diabetes. Just watch.
The herb that helps reverse diabetes is turmeric. The herb that keeps your blood sugar steady is ginger. The herb that helps your body use insulin better is cayenne pepper. These powerful ingredients work together to support healthy circulation, stabilize energy, and balance blood sugar naturally. Now, baby, if you try to buy all these one by one, you're going to spend hundreds of dollars. That's why I always tell my people about this one thing that's got all of them mixed together, Jupi Hydration. Especially for folks coming to me at 40 or 50 years old, tired all the time, running to the bathroom every hour, and hungry like they ain't eaten all day. 3 weeks later, they come back to me in tears, thanking me because they feel like brand new people. If you're interested for purchase, search Joopy Hydration on Amazon.
And this, by the way, in the bottom corner, it says AI info. AI info, and it is a fake news broadcast of a news broadcaster being like, a doctor was arrested for knowing the secret to reversing diabetes, and then showing a clip of that same fake person doing an interview about this new information and using it to sell a product. That can't be legal. Surely that's not legal. Like, even AI aside, like, they could set this up as like a skit and like pay actors to do it, but obviously they're not going to be doing that. They're going to be using AI because it's cheaper. Surely you can't be just saying that. surely you cannot be saying that to advertise a product. This had thousands of likes. This had so many people like just believing it and agreeing with it. That's evil. That's cruel, right? Like, I don't know how you're allowed to use AI in this sort of way and then to like actively use this incredibly false information. No doctor was arrested for this. There was a similar thing that happened in the 90s where a New York doctor was arrested for claiming he had the cure for AIDS and reversing AIDS through similar means of like homeopathy. That is something that happened. And he was arrested for like fraud and scamming people because that's not how it works. You're taking people's money and you're actively causing people to die. So I suppose they're basing this off of that. But that's so fucked up on so many levels. Because, like, unfortunately, people do disappear when they come up with cures that are gonna be, like, saving a lot of money and things like that. Like, the US in particular is incredibly capitalistic. However, so it is believable. However, that didn't happen here. None of that is true. And then going on and listing all these things, being like, black pepper, turmeric, apple cider vinegar. If you combine all of these, it'll reverse your diabetes. And you don't even have to do that on your own. We have a product that you can search up and it'll cure you. It'll cure your diabetes. It'll reverse it. You don't have to go to any doctors or get insulin or anything. Just drink this. That's so dangerous. That is so dangerous. And also incredibly ironic because the whole thing for all of these anti-vaxxers is that they're anti-big pharma, right? They think it's all a big scam for like big pharma to be making money, for these medicine companies and these like vaccine companies to be making money. That's what they think this all is and why vaccines are bad. They're just trying to keep you unhealthy and take your money. But what do you think these guys are doing? Like, why? You won't pay to get a vaccine one time to last you like a lifetime or several years, but you will hand over like hundreds of dollars to this person who makes like a sachet to put in your water that you have to keep buying over and over and has absolutely no proof to show that it works and that you could also make for yourself so much cheaper. Like, you're gonna throw your money at those companies? Are you stupid? Like, you think we're sheep and we're just buying into what we're told? You are living in the pockets of these people who are just making money off of your idiocy. like, be so for real. Like, yes, these things do have health benefits. Like, there are proven effects to, like, turmeric is an anti-inflammatory. Apple cider vinegar is good for your gut health. Like, these are true things, but it is not the same, right? It is not a replacement for, like, actual medicine should you get to a point where you actually need that. And claiming that it can reverse diabetes is so dangerous. Like, you are literally endangering people's lives. This can't be legal, right? Like, there's no way this is legal. How are they getting away with this? This is a really big company too, by the way. Like, they sponsor so many influencers. They have hundreds of thousands of like followers. They're like a really big company. On posting just absolute bullshit, this person posted a photo of a clump of synthetic parasites removed and photographed with a low-power microscope and 365 nm UV light and ambient light mixed. These can easily be sexually transmitted. They are not only in the vax, they are being aerosolized and deployed by aircraft daily. And it's a picture of, to me, it looks like threads of cotton balled up with like a little bit of light reflecting on them. Like, maybe they're in a pool of water and it's been taken under a light. Like, that's what this looks like to me. Obviously, I then reverse image searched this to see where they found this image. I was like, Did you find this from some other anti-vax post? Was this like a big conspiracy that was spreading recently? Like, where did this photo come from? Where did this information come from? Nothing. It came back with nothing. There are no identical matches to this photo. I couldn't even find any like conspiracy theories that were linked to this. However, when I did image search it, it kind of came up with being like, this is a jellyfish. Google was like, that's a jellyfish. I don't know what else it could be, but it's definitely a jellyfish. Portuguese man-o'-war jellyfish, to be exact. And you know what? I think that it does look a little bit like that. I don't think it looks exactly like it, but it does. I do see how Google thought that it was. And I just am really curious as to where this image was found and what inspired them to say this. People in the comments seem to think they meant that it's a parasite that was removed from this person, and they're commenting like parasite detoxes. So, you know, because that's apparently a thing, is that they're telling these people to do a parasite detox to get all of this out of their system. So I don't know where this parasite came from or how they took a photo, where they took a photo, where any of the information they're saying is coming from. Like, why are they just being like, they drop these out of aircrafts every day? Source? Can you please? Like, for all this information and for the 1.2 thousand likes this got, can you provide me with one source? No? Of course, why wouldn't they? These free thinkers, thinking for themselves, only using their own thoughts and their own rationality, they wouldn't just believe things that they're told with no proof and no sources, obviously. If they're gonna believe something, they're gonna do their own research and not go along with all the sheep like the rest of us, like all these sheep getting vaccines and listening to the government. They're gonna do their own research and use their intuition. That's why when someone posts a random photo of something that looks like nothing and says, this is a parasite that's dropping out of airplanes, you all just believe them. This next one I just found incredibly funny. This is how the unvaxxed feel in public. And it's a big, like, black lion standing tall above just like a bunch of sheep. And I just find this really funny because I know how they're intending for it to come across, but I like how I interpret it instead, which is very much like, you know, a lion is a predator and sheep are prey. And so what does that mean? It means that the lion can very easily just kill one of these sheep without a second thought. They're just gonna kill it, whether for food, for fun, whatever. They are a predator and they are very easily able to kill any of these sheep at any given point. And I feel like that really symbolizes the anti-vaxxers in the general crowd, right? Like, if we are all vaccinated and you are not, that gives you the potential to be a carrier, right? You might be safe from getting horrifically ill from a potential virus. But, you know, some of these sheep are potentially people who are unvaccinated for the sole reason that they have an immuno disease. Like, they may be immunocompromised, so they can't get a vaccine because the vaccine will, like, fight them, and then, you know, ultimately they'll get sick and not be able to fight against it. And if you are carrying that virus because you refuse to get vaccinated against it, and you come in contact with that person, you can very much kill them. I hope you enjoy being a lion and amongst all the sheep with the knowledge that you are choosing to put people in danger when you do not have to be making that decision. We're all sheep and you are a dangerous lion who may just pounce on someone and kill them because you're thoughtless. Person said, I'm gonna leave it at that, with 3 100 emojis. And the post is, COVID was an IQ test. And the image of this post is a person with a leaf of lettuce over their face with eye holes cut out, and it's like got an elastic band around their head. I mean, I guess you could view it like that, right? I guess maybe COVID was an IQ test. Yeah, if you want to view COVID as an IQ test, you fall on the other side of the line. Like, you are the one who failed the test. And I think that in itself is proven enough in the fact that you remember how high the mortality rate was at the start, right? Do you know the mortality rate of it after the vaccine? Because I don't know if you noticed, but it actually like dropped significantly. Like, the long-lasting effects of COVID are a lot lower. The, you know, amount of people who die is a lot lower, clearly did in fact have a positive reaction. Like, it definitely made a positive impact and difference. And making fun of masks here I find also so funny, because like being anti-vax and anti-mask is wild to me, because who is benefiting from the mask thing, right? Being anti-vax is like anti-big pharma. Who is wearing a mask benefiting? Like the big mask companies? A lot of small businesses were making those. They're not very expensive. Like who is benefiting from that? That's genuinely like a very easy thing to do, and also just like makes logical sense that breathing through a mask is like avoiding particles. Like you see people wearing like gas masks and things so they don't get poisoned when they go into like poisonous gas places. Like, it's very logical. I don't understand why these people are like, lol, you're wearing a mask, you look so stupid. I'm not breathing in viruses. So, you know, I think that like I don't wear a mask anymore. I know most people do not wear masks anymore, but like in general, I feel like we'd all be a lot better off if we did. It can help against like, you know, for like hay fever and pollutants and like viruses so much. I feel like it just would help with a lot of things, especially if people have allergies. Like I've had this like cough for a long time, which I believe is long COVID. I had COVID 3.5 months ago. I have not been able to shake this cough, which is very frustrating. And I talked to my sister, who is a nurse just about, and she was like, it might be allergies or something, so just like wear a mask to stop that irritation. And have I done that? No. Would it help? Probably. So like, I don't understand making fun of it and being like, you're so stupid. You're stupid for like acting as though you understand more than you do. Try to explain to me how a mask wouldn't help. It's like washing your hands. Are you now gonna be here like, washing your hands is useless? There's no point in washing your hands. You're being lied to by big soap companies. They tell you that it'll help keep germs off your hands, but really, you wash your hands and the soap has germs in it, and they're doing it so that it makes you sick, so that you keep buying. Probably. Honestly, they are probably. That'll be next. First they come for your medicine, then they come for your soap. And okay, you might be sitting there being like, hey, Kiwi, did you not say this is a dating group? You haven't actually talked about that or shown any proof that this is actually a dating group. And to that, yeah, all right, you're right. I have not shown any proof that it is a dating group, because the dating stuff is all, a lot of it is just photos of people being like, I hate big pharma, date me. That's what a lot of it is. And I know this is a public group, but I don't really want to post people's photos. You know what I mean? Like, I know it shouldn't, but Facebook feels so much more personal than like any other social media, right? Like, if these people were on a public Instagram dating thing, I wouldn't have any issue posting their faces. But something about it being on Facebook, even though it's public, feels like a violation of privacy, and I don't really know why. But I will share a couple of people's little blurbs about themselves so you can kind of get a bit of an idea about some of the things these people are saying, because they're all kind of similar in this sense. So this person said, hello, new to this, but here goes. My biological age is currently 28.8 as of 11th of September 2025, or maybe the 9th of November 2025. I don't know if they're American or un-American, but I've been alive for 46 years. I am comfortable financially, travel the world at will, healthy, fit, no gray hairs, anti-vax, anti-drug, anti-evil, pro-love, pro-connection, God, earth, real organic food, and natural medicine, if any. I have not been sick for over 6 years, no vaccines. US military and government medical record proves it. However, Uncle Sam and I don't play together anymore. I enjoy life, love, healing, and lifting people up. I love to provide, protect, fight evil with no fear. I try to be humble, compassionate, understanding, always learning and growing, but I'm human, so bear with me. I'm currently in Alaska, USA, but leaning towards a tropical beach next. I'm open to suggestions. I'll travel to the ends of the earth to find my person, fall in love forever, live our best lives, spoil the living daylights out of her, and make lots of beautiful hybrid babies together. But I'm patient to select the right woman at the right time in the right environment. The odds are against us, so wish me luck. So that's kind of a general sort of blurb of what they've all been saying. I will say I'm so obsessed with being like, my biological age is 28.8, but I've been alive for 46 years. I want to know what a biological age is. What does that mean? Are you giving money to some random person online who is like, I'll tell you your biological age and how healthy you are, just give me $200 and I will do that for you? And they're like, oh, sounds sick, I'm gonna do that. I don't like giving my money to companies who are taking advantage of me, but this is obviously legit, so I'm gonna give them my money. There's a bunch of people who post stuff like this about their biological age. And it's really funny, and I really hope it's not being used as a, like, my biological age is 28, so that means I should date 18-year-old girls. But, you know, knowing men. It also obviously in here says Uncle Sam and I don't play together anymore, which is an interesting one because I have found in this group, at the very least, we can agree on that. A lot of them are very anti-government, which, you know, I guess kind of makes sense. At least they're not MAGA, which they could be, but they're not. So they've got that going for them at least. There's another one that says, okay, which one of you beautiful women wants to marry me and live happily ever after, making pure-blooded babies and raising them with love to be masters of reality? Accepting applications. Be honest now. And the picture is an AI-generated, like, platinum blonde-haired, blue-eyed, very fair-skinned, like, 6-year-old girl. And, you know, when you put that in with the, like, raising pure-blooded babies, it says something. I also don't know why you would do this. Instead of putting a photo of your face on a dating profile, putting an AI generated photo of a child you want to have and calling them pure-blooded whilst having this exact description is really unhinged. And you know, it circles back exactly to the fact that this group is obviously called pure-blooded dating. And I know that pure blood to them just means unvaccinated, but I think it does actually go a little bit deeper than that, because every single person in this group is white. Every single one. As I said, I was scrolling through this for hours. I did not encounter a single person of color, and I encountered dozens of people. Like, there was a lot of people who were posting photos of their face being like, date me, love me, date me. All of them were white. Every single one. And I mean, when that's the case, and you're in a group called Pure Blood Dating, there's only like a couple conclusions that one can jump to, right? Like, especially when you're adding in factors like this and people posting like this, it speaks for itself. It's funny on the Pure Blood thing because they like kind of act like, I don't know how else to explain this other than like a gold star lesbian, in the sense that there's like an argument of what counts as a pure blood when it comes to not being vaccinated. Like, there are people who are being like, if you have ever had sex with a vaccinated person, you are not pure-blooded. You are not pure blood. You have been vaccinated by proxy. And so then that extends. So if you've like ever engaged with any vaccinated person, you are not good enough. You are not pure-blooded. You need to get away. How dare you? Yeah, it's really fun. This is really fun. This group is great. So cool and fun. On other cool and fun things that this group has, another little fear-mongering white lie that they have told that I have seen spread before is the following. When you finally sit down and read a vaccine insert for yourself, it's like a light switch flips on. You see the words right there in black and white. Aluminium, formaldehyde, aborted fetal cells, MRC5, WI38, bovine serum, and even monkey kidney cells. And suddenly it all makes sense why so many children today are struggling with chronic illness, allergies, developmental issues, and immune dysfunction. These ingredients aren't nutrients, they're toxins, foreign DNA, and chemical preservatives that were never meant to be injected into the bloodstream. Naturally, I read this, and as I have in the past when I've read people talking about how there's like aborted fetal cells and things in vaccines, I rolled my eyes and I was immediately going to be like, okay, shut up, source. But I was like, okay, no, let me actually Google this. I want to be informed before I sit down and talk about it. And I figured out where this came from and why they say this, but it makes it so much more frustrating because they've made it to the point where it's like, because of the reality, it seems believable, but no one's actually like looked at it far enough to understand that they're wrong. And that's the fact that this is kind of true. Like, it's not true, but it's like kind of true in the way that vaccines need to grow in cells, right? Because they are going into your body and they have to be compatible with like our blood and the way our bodies work. It's like you can't get a blood transfusion from someone with a different type of blood because, you know, your body is going to recreate your own blood, and then you have to be biologically compatible with what is going into your bloodstream. So they have to grow the vaccines in like a living thing in a cell so that they know it's compatible and so that they can make it like, yeah, biologically, so you can have it in your body and it'll actually work. And this is the case with, they have in fact used like monkey kidneys and aborted fetuses in the past, right? In the 1960s, there was a pregnancy that was terminated at 30 weeks for medical reasons. The pregnancy had to be terminated or they were gonna die. And the body of the fetus was donated to science, and they took the lung of that fetus and they used that to help grow a vaccine. And they have then used that since for the past 70 years, replicating that. However, that was decades ago. It is so far removed from that initial stage. They have not needed to use live subjects or ex-live dead subjects since that time, right? Like, it's not like every vaccine now they've gone and like taken a bit of like a fetus and then put it and mixed it in, or like are brewing it inside of a monkey. Like, they did this one time decades ago and have never had to bring in like bodies ever again. And it's not in newer vaccines. Like the COVID vaccine has not got any part of this. It's only select vaccines, and a lot of them are quite old. And there is no remnants of that in the vaccines anymore, and there haven't been for decades. This was a conversation of moral within the Catholic Church for a period of time, of them obviously being like, well, it's a fetus, it's, you know, a life, blah, blah, blah. But even the Catholic Church was like, it's so far removed that there is nothing morally wrong about this. Like, it's not got anything to do with abortion or human life or anything anymore. Like, it's been decades. So like, it's chill, it's fine, get vaccinated. It's not wrong, but it is also incredibly wrong. And the reason that it's done is so that it will work in your body and it won't poison you or be toxic by putting foreign DNA in your body. The reason they moved on from using like animals and into this, you know, donated body was because it's easier to use a human to make something that is viable for a human, obviously, right? Like, you're not being injected by animals, all right? That's really the main point here, is that that's not what's happening anymore. It didn't even really happen back then. So, you know, calm down and like actually read the facts and not just the surface one line without looking at what that means, because obviously people are buying it. People then go Google it and they see the fact like, yes, this is true, without reading, you know, why it's true. Infuriating. And it's just fear mongering. Because now a bunch of people believe it without questioning it. And like, they have sources, but they don't read the source, you know? Human beings do not need to be vaccinated against anything. The concept of inoculating an industrial allopathic substance to fulfill a biological effort that supposedly the human body would not be capable of producing in its natural state to remain immune is a blasphemy to the natural law of the creation of life. This view is always so frustrating, and it like genuinely like it kills people. You know, I've talked about this before in the Crunchy Mom videos that I've done of like mothers who don't vaccinate their kids or get like proper medical attention for their kids because they're like, your body should be able to fight it off, you know? And like, if you die, it's like God's will, that it's like your time to die, which is, at least on this one, they're kind of acknowledging that vaccines work, right? They're kind of acknowledging like, yes, a vaccine will help you not get sick, but that is witchcraft. If God wants you dead, just die. Natural selection. Why do you want that though? Like, like, yes, vaccines do, you know, help to extend your life. Is that natural? I mean, considering we found all the ways to make it with things on Earth, we used our brains and our hands and evolution to do it, then like, I would say, yeah, right? We used our resources to create something that extends life. And being like, you need a vaccine, you're actually ruining it, and your body can actually fight off everything. Your body cannot fight off everything, right? Like, trying to imply that like a good diet is going to like fix everything and like all your illnesses will disappear, that's absolute fucking bullshit. Do you want to say that to all of the like kids with cancer, to everyone with like terminal illness who has never done anything that is off the task of what you people think is correct. Like all these like crunchy parents who have terminal illnesses and have done all of that. Like sometimes it just happens, right? And I think that if we are able to, you know, use medicine and stop death from happening when we can and extend our lives a little bit longer, then like, why wouldn't we do that? I just don't understand what your issue is. It's like, you don't need vaccines. Okay, you also don't need a bunch of the other stuff that you're saying. Like, you don't need most things. You need like a certain amount of nutrition and a certain amount of water and like oxygen. Technically, that's all you need, but it's not going to be a very good life, right? And you're probably not going to live very long. If we want to talk about, you know, longevity and medicine and how, you know, the body can fight shit off, look at all the underdeveloped countries that are exploited and do not have access to vaccines, and how many people are dying from diseases that are preventable and even are extinct in other places because we have vaccines. Right? Like, you are sitting here and saying all of this from a place of privilege because you aren't getting sick. You're not getting polio. You're not getting all of these very preventable diseases because a lot of the people around you have been vaccinated. And so you take advantage of that and you're like, I don't get sick and I've not been vaccinated, so obviously vaccines are a lie. No, you're not getting sick because most of the people around you have been vaccinated. And so you aren't getting sick because of those people. Not because you're special. It's not that the vaccine is like pointless. It's that other people have been vaccinated. And then these people are like, well, then if you're vaccinated, why does it matter if I'm not? Because it's not about me. It's about the other people who can't get vaccinated. You are choosing not to, where they are forced not to. And your choice not to can hurt the people who actually can't. I will say though, the funniest part about this group that is, once again, like, not that surprising, but also incredibly funny, and I'm obsessed with, that I think honestly says everything that needs to be said. You can honestly just like scrap everything else I've said in this video because I feel like this says enough about the intelligence of these people. Someone posted, how many of y'all are flat earthers? As if finding a match wasn't hard enough already. And there are a lot of comments from people who are flat earthers. Flat earther here, go down the rabbit hole, trust me. For instance, the SR-71 Blackbird flies so fast that it would have to drop 80 stories per second to account for the curvature of the Earth, which is impossible. With a good camera and zoom lens, you can see straight path stretching over 100 miles. If the Earth curved, then this wouldn't be possible. Do some digging, and you'll see. It's hard to fathom that the people who know that the COVID-19 scamdemic was fake, but can't see the moon landings were fake as shit and believe we're on a spinning space ball. I am a Christian and believe in biblical cosmology. Definitely a flat earther. Building 7 was also a controlled demolition. Firmament, yes. Vast lands beyond the ice wall, yes. Possible lands under us, yes. Different dimensions, yes. I don't believe in the moon landings. I don't believe one rocket has penetrated the firmament because they've actually admitted it. I believe there are extraterrestrials outside of the ice walls and under Antarctica. I believe the military is cleaning out all the deep underground bases that were deep state controlled. I believe our military right now is finishing the stages of cleaning up the swamp deep state cabal. Don't get me started on Big Pharma and our food. I believe there's an event coming soon to wake up the rest of the masses and force them out of hypnosis. Iconic. I also am obsessed with the person who initially posted this, is a straight man, you know, talking about finding a match with flat earthers, and all of the comments who are also flat earthers are also straight men. And I just find it so funny how, like, if you are in a group with a significant number of flat earthers, like if your belief around something aligns so closely with flat earthers, maybe you should be reflecting on your information and your sources and questioning it a little bit, because I mean, the reason flat earthers are flat earthers is because they're like the anti-sheep, right? Is they're like, everyone else believes this thing, so I'm gonna believe this other thing, because anything anyone tells me is obviously incorrect. It's like not like the other girls, but like to the extreme. Yeah, that doesn't make you a free thinker. That makes you also a sheep, just on the other side, right? Like, I think instead you should be maybe like not just not believing everything, but actually considering things and, you know, using some logic and not just think everyone is always lying to you, especially when these people are like, everyone's lying to me, the media is lying to me, the government is lying to me. This random person over here who wants my money to join his cult, he's not lying to me. If they're selling you something, chances are they're at the very least stretching the truth, right? And I guess that's where a lot of this comes in for like Americans versus elsewhere that I find really interesting. Obviously, a lot of these people don't believe in big pharma or medicine and stuff because they're just selling you a product. They're selling it to you. So they're lying to you because they're making money. That's not how it works in a lot of other places though, is it? Right? Like here they don't advertise medication. Like you don't get sold medication. You don't buy medication. It is prescribed and there is like a prescription cap. A prescription here is £9.50. Back in New Zealand, it's free or $5 for a prescription. And it's like, it's subsidized. It's not just a company like grinding out medicine to prescribe you and to like charge you a fuckload of money. That's not happening in most of the world. Yeah. You don't have health insurance. It's not like these health insurance companies are bargaining on you being sick to like take your money and then making you sicker. Like I at least understand a little bit more how Americans and other places that have like a private healthcare system like they do can jump to these conclusions a little bit. Like I, at the very least, like understand questioning why people are selling you things, especially if they're, you know, being like, we want to save your life. Pay us a lot of money. I also would be like, why do you want to take my money if you're saving my life? Like, surely you should want to help me. Like, I kind of get it. But then, you know, they turn around and, as I said, go the other way and just start giving a fuckload of money to other people who don't have anything either. There's nothing scientifically backed. It's just like random people who are like, I can take advantage of this market. Ultimately, though, vaccines are good. Please get vaccinated. Please get vaccinated. Please vaccinate your kids. Like, it's incredibly important. We have genuinely, like, we have wiped out like diseases and some of them are coming back because of people who aren't getting vaccinated, and it's astounding. Like they've prevented so many deaths and they can continue to prevent so many deaths. Like just do your research. And there is obviously a small percentage of people who like suffer from side effects, absolutely, but that happens with everything. There are side effects for literally everything. There are medications that I am allergic to. It's frustrating, but it happens. It's a small amount of people. Right? And if you are someone who is affected by it, it's not a one size fits all. Yeah, you can have a bad reaction to a vaccine and it doesn't mean everyone else has a bad reaction to a vaccine. Like it sucks if you've been negatively affected, but like the chance of you being negatively affected by a vaccine is a lot lower than the chance of you being negatively impacted by getting sick. Please like do your research properly and like actually look at science and people who are actually qualified and read what they are doing and educate yourself, and don't just be believing people on the internet who agree with you. Yeah, you can't just be agreeing with people that agree with you and using that as validation. I know it's tempting. It's great to like have someone validate you and you're like, I like that, so I'm going to agree with you. My book series that I just read was all about that. Book video on my book channel coming soon about that. Anyway, yeah. Get vaccinated. Let me know if you want another one of these, because as I said, there is thousands of these posts and I have a lot to say. I found this very educational. I didn't actually know as much about vaccines as I thought that I did because I studied them in year 12 for a bit, but obviously I didn't learn that much because it was like one term of biology when I was 16. So I found this interesting and I hope you found it interesting as well. It was a good sit down and learn with Kiwi Day. So yeah, I'm going to stop rambling and let you get on with your days. A huge thank you to my Kiwi Cat patrons. Polar Bee, Sienna, Alicia, Marielle, Bree, Bay the Trucker, Chastity, Beckett, Prismatic Petey, Sushi Kawaii, Phil the Duck, Jessie, River, Queen Glimmer, Ella, Mr. Noodle, Radsack, Knitting Menace, Chris, Ellie, Alexis, and Bobby. I love and appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah. When you close your eyes, you replay